Hey everybody, Chris Luther here at the Chris Luther Real Estate Team. I wanted to talk to you briefly about what buyers in the market can expect here in 2022. So stay tuned and we'll tell you all about it. So if you're somebody that is thinking about buying a house in 2022, wanted to talk to you today about kind of what the playing field is going to look like, what we expect to happen in the market throughout the year. Of course, none of us have a crystal ball, but have a pretty good idea of what's going to be coming on the horizon. So let's first talk about interest rates. The Fed has already talked about reducing their balance sheet coming around the end of Q1 this year, March, April timeframe. So, not that that is directly related to mortgage rates, but it is a pretty good indicator of how things follow. So, that being said, what we do expect is for rates to slowly, and the key word is slowly here, to start to rise. Right now we're seeing 3.25, on average, something like that. So I think we're going to start to see a slow tick towards the higher 3 by the end of the year. Again, obviously just a guesstimation on our part, but that seems to be the consensus across the industry. It's not something that's going to jump overnight, that's going to really push you out, but obviously, the sooner that you get into a home with a lower rate, the more that saves you not only on a monthly payment, but over the life of the loan. And so it can make a pretty big impact on what the affordability is for you as a buyer. Now let's just talk about inventory. Obviously, last year was pretty crazy for buyers. We spent quite a bit of time, I think, doing as much therapy as we did trying to find folks homes. It was in the summer, it was really crazy. Not uncommon to be competing with 20 to 30 offers on a house depending on price point. But the last part of the year we've seen that subside, and some of our buyers have been able to come back in the market and get something without having to compete, or at least, not compete with as many folks as they did in the summer. So now that we're turning to 2022, inventory is still low. We have a lot of room to catch up with inventory for it to be a stable market. So it's still going to be a seller's market overall, but it is a good time to be a buyer simply because of the rates and where they're at. We're still at all-time lows. So from that standpoint, we have to keep our eye on the inventory. So as the inventory goes up, it will be easier for buyers to get contracts. That will remain to be seen. We do anticipate inventory going up slightly. However, it's still got a long way to go. And so we'll see how that factors in. But the other component to inventory is new home construction. And so part of the challenge there is, there is a need and a demand for more new home construction, but some of the bottlenecks and supply issues that COVID has created are making it difficult on developers and builders to be able to get stuff in the ground fast enough. So, and that's also creating a cost issue in many cases for buyers to come in and keep the price stable, because the fluctuation of prices and materials are changing very rapidly. So that's a headwind that we see going into the first half here of 2022. Hopefully, as we get further through the year, some of these bottlenecks will come back and we can get stuff a little more easily. That might help prices go down as well. Not go down, just mainly on materials, but house prices are not going down. So for anybody who is hanging out waiting for prices to go down the market, that train's not coming. So our hope is that it stabilizes a little bit and maybe gets more back to normal appreciation. But last year we saw basically just under 20% appreciation, which is unheard of. A normal year is 3 to 4% appreciation. So I think we're going to kind of revert back to some semblance of that. It may be a little bit higher, just depends on how the year plays out with the inventory levels and rates. So that remains to be seen. If you're looking at new construction, definitely give us a call, because that's something that we need to talk through you about, because it varies from builder to builder. The timelines, it's hard to keep the timelines on track because of materials and availability. So used to be that we could firmly look at about a 6-month timeline for new construction, but that's pushing out to a year right now. So that's something that you want to consider in terms of, if you're looking to buy, is when do I need to be in that house. And if we can't control the timeline very well on the new build side, that's something that you want to be aware of before you pull the trigger on a new build. The good news is the rates are low, the affordability is there. We just have to work really hard to make sure that we find the inventory that suits your needs and that you can get in before we see a decent rate hike. So that's the message that we have today. Obviously, the sooner you get pre-approved, the better off and the more competitive you're going to be in terms of getting a property. If you have questions, if you're in the market to buy this year, we would love to hear from you, and we could see how our team can help you. We'd love to do that. Feel free to reach out to us. You can reach me anytime, 910-367-8302. That's my cell, my direct line. Or you can reach me at chris@chrisluther.com, which is my email. So appreciate you guys taking the time to listen today. Hopefully this information has helped you, and we're always here to help, whether you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate. So we'd love to hear from you. Give us a call.